Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to NFTV Extra. This is your monthly roundup from the under-23s, NUFC Women, and also we'll mention the under-18s, of course, with their FA Youth Cup. If you're watching the rerun, get your comments down there below. We are live. We're live on NFTV Extra, and we are also live on Twitch. Thomas has said, evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well, Thomas, and keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming as we go along. We're using the share screen facility tonight. That is just basically because I'm rushed off my feet, haven't had the time to get loads of graphics together with obviously the main focus on tomorrow. Obviously, speaking dead briefly, Fulham got beat today, which is fantastic, which makes it now they've only got 4 games left to play and they can only pick up a possible 12 points and the 9 points behind Newcastle. Of course, we've got the game in hand against Arsenal. So tune in tomorrow for all of the coverage, or later on today, depending on whenever you're watching this video. But we're going to start with the under-23s and a catch-up of all of their games, and then we'll move on to the women's and the under-18s as well. But if you remember, this is the next game from the last video that I covered, where they went away to Wolves, and you can see by that scoreline, I mean, it's a tad worrying, put it that way, because the under-23s have been struggling. And this was down Kidderminster, and you can see when you can start to see the lineup here, it was Jake Turner, you had Ryan Barrett on the right hand side, Brookwell, Thompson, Brady Cross over the left, Owen Bailey starting, which is good to see him. Jack Young in midfield, those were the two. Christian Atsu was over on the right hand side, Stan Flaherty was in the 10, Adam Wilson on the left, and Tom Allen up front. You can see the lineup there. You can see the substitutions. Matty Bonwell came on the hour, and so did Regan Thompson. But not great for the under-23s. An absolute hammering away from home. And look, we've come kind of accustomed to probably the last 2 years with the under-23s nowhere near as good as what they were under Ben Dawson. But yeah, that is very disappointing to see that. So you think yourself, okay, no problems. So that was on the 12th of April, early on this month. And then we went to play Stoke a week later, and we got beat once again, 2-1. It was great to see Dylan Stevenson, who's made the headlines for the under-18s, with him grabbing a hat-trick for the under-18s in the FA, in the league. Or was it League of the FA Youth Cup? With one of the two. But you can see the lineup. Slight change. There was a change in goal. Matty Bondswell, who's the new signing, coming at left back. Brady Cross moved over at centre back. Oyster McEntee, Barrett. You said Brookwell was then played in midfield alongside Jack Young. Wilson was on the left. Elliot Anderson played on the 10. Lucas De Bolle on the right, and Dylan Stevenson up top. So there was a few changes to the previous week, and then of course you've seen Scott come on, Owen Bailey come on, Stan Flaherty come on as well. And bad run of form again, although it's tighter. Stoke, you think of Stoke and you think yourself, really, are the Stoke really that good? But you can see on the right-hand side, the league table. I mean, we'll take a look at the league table in depth very shortly, but Stoke are actually one of the better sides in this division. So maybe, conceding a late goal in the 79th minute, under-23s didn't do too bad. Perhaps, if you want to look at it that way, a lot of the under-18s are getting called up and mixing with the under-23s this season. But the only positive for me to come out of that game was Stevenson getting his first goal for the under-23s, which is great to see. Matty Bondswell is probably another one. He looks like he's going to be our first choice left back, obviously with new signing from Leipzig. So we got beat 2-1. You think yourself, right, we're going to win sometime. And then we won. We did. This is fairly recent. We won 2-0 against Crystal Palace, which is bloody brilliant. You see Adam Wilson, who scored. He was assisted by Christian Atsu. Kyle Crossley got his first goal for the under-23s on his debut. Positive. And Stan Flaherty with the assist. But of course, the big one, the big news from the other day was this man highlighted here. Fabian Schar played the full 90, and he is in contention. I don't think he'll start against Arsenal tomorrow/today, depending on when you're watching this video. I think you might have a place at best on the substitutes, but great to see Fabian Schar play, get his custom yellow card. That was a massive highlight because we thought his season was done. He's a free agent. He's going to be off, but we made him in a black and white shirt. Adam Wilson, they've got him playing up top here, predominantly a left winger, but Christian Atsu getting a lot of minutes lately with the under-23s. He is still eligible to play for the first team. Believe it or not, he was registered by Steve Bruce, but I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't sneaked onto the bench. But yeah, no Matty Longstaff in any of these 3 games that we're covering. There was talk that Matty Longstaff was training with the under-23s. He's simply not. He's been training with the first team. He just hasn't been picked, or he hasn't even played with the under-23s. But you seen Oyster McAtee come on. I tell a lie, Fabian Schar didn't play the full night. He played a half, so I'm already lying to you. He played a half, which was great. Kyle Crossley, as I say, came off the bench, and Ollie Walters as well. So positive that we won a game, but the big news, Fabian Schar, Matty Barneswell playing again, Adam Wilson amongst the goals. So yeah, we won a game, which was nice to actually see, because our form with the under-23s has been absolutely shocking this season. As I've said already, you can see our form right there. But keep your questions coming in, keep your comments coming in, because I'll read some of them out very, very shortly. And then if we move across to the next 2 fixtures that the under-23s have. So we actually play, and this is strange, our last 2 games in the league are against Aston Villa and then Aston Villa. Aye, how's that work? So we're playing Villa away from home, and then we'll play them at home. So it's tomorrow/today, 2 p.m. again, depending on when you're watching the video, if you're watching the rerun, if you're not watching this live. So the lads will be away to Aston Villa, whilst Newcastle's first team are kicking off against Arsenal at St James's Park. And then, of course, just 5 days later, we'll go against Aston Villa once again, and that'll be the league season wrapped up. So those are the fixtures. And I'll be doing a video with the under-23s, with the squad and who's performed well, and we'll look at stats, how many people have played, and goals and assists in the next update on the under-23s. And we'll also cover the 2 Aston Villa games. I've got the hiccups now. But already touched upon the bad form. This is the league table. Currently where Newcastle are. We've actually came off the bottom of the table. Believe it or not, that's the headline of this video. I mean, that's not something to be proud of, because Sunderland were actually rock bottom last season. You see where Sunderland are massively improved, and Sunderland could actually qualify for the playoffs. Remember, the first, Leeds have ran away with the league. Leeds are champions. Leeds will go up. And then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th will then vie for a playoff spot. So Sunderland are only literally a point off it. They've got a real chance. They've got a game in hand in a couple of people, and Middlesbrough. So you could say one of the Northeast teams go up. But look where Newcastle are. Slant down the bottom. 3rd worst defence in the league. 24 points from 22 games. Yes, I know it's not about results. Performances matter for the development of the players, definitely, but winning breeds confidence, and it isn't good to look at, is it? It clearly isn't. But we've got a comment that just came through, a couple of comments that have come through, and they're both from Thomas as well. Thomas has said, Atsu was playing, yeah, he was. We were terrible against Aston Villa, so yeah, we played Villa twice. Coming up as well. I wanted to then move over and talk about a timeline from April going through the month, because the under-18s were very successful in the FA Youth Cup until they played Aston Villa under-18s. I think that's what Thomas is referring to on that comment right there. But yeah, we'll go back to the share screen facility once again. And if you aren't following us over on NFTV Extra's Twitter platform, the handle is NFTV Media. We've got all the news of the under-23s, 18s, and the women's. Of course, the women got put out the FA Cup against Brighouse, which was devastating for them, because they could have pulled out one of the big boys in the FA Cup. So that was disappointing. However, they bounced back in style by thumping Solihull Moors 9-1, and it's not a strange thing for the women to batter teams, because we've seen several times this season. I went to one early on the season. I took the Little, and we won 11-0. 11-0, man. But yeah, another thumping win, 9-1, and that was a friendly game. And it's not the first time Newcastle have put hammering past. And then I want to touch upon huge congratulations to our under-18s defeating Watford 3-2 to reach the quarterfinals of the FA Youth Cup. You can see Elliot Anderson. I'm just going to pause that just for copyright reasons. Elliot Anderson played, and he has been playing for the under-18s and being captain. He scores the free kick. It's over on Twitter. If you haven't seen the goal, it's fantastic. Last minute, literally in extra time to put Newcastle through. And he's been featuring a lot, being a leader for the lads as well. He grew up with the lads. He's the same age, remember, Obviously, he's been training with the first team under 23s. He's dropped down to the under 18s. So it's a prime example. Look, he's happy to play for whichever side it is, whether it's the first team, under 23s, and under 18s. Of course, he's the big success from the under 23s this season because he's the one who's broken through to the first team and had a couple of substitute appearances. And of course, the other one, which we talked about last month, if you haven't seen it on the channel, is that Joe Joyce has officially left the club. The video was already on NFTV Extra from last month, and there was huge speculation that he was leaving because of the treatment that he had received over his son, who used to be on the books at Newcastle. I think his son's in the US of A. And he wasn't very happy, so he's left, and it's a sad case because Joe Joyce has been at the club for years, man, well over a decade or two. Not great that, and obviously that's why you don't see Steve Harper on Steve Bruce's bench anymore. Harper's covering Joe Joyce as the academy head, whereas Neil Winskill runs the under 18s. He's the manager, but Harper is in charge of the youth there. Would be linked to a player on April the 12th. Newcastle looking at Everton teenager Dylan Thompson, according to the Chronicle as well. And of course, that's we always link to players, and obviously we've got the Thompson now playing already for Newcastle. So we'll be linked to a lot of youngsters over the summer, so don't be too surprised on that. After the game against Watford, Ian Winskill went on to say about Elliot Anderson. Yesterday, after the game, I shook his hand and said, "What a fantastic goal, well done." And his reply was, "Yeah, but I could have played better." That's the attitude of being relentless, wanting to improve and never being satisfied. Again, good mindset for the young lad to have as well. I've touched upon the under 23s getting walloped 4-0 there. If we scroll up, and of course, the under 18s will face Aston Villa after that win against Watford, which we'll touch upon in a second in the quarterfinal of the FA Youth Cup. And then we once again, Football Insider claim on the 14th of April that we're closing in on the signing of rising star Sean Mavididi, if I've said that right, following his exit from Arsenal. I don't know too much about him. I'm not going to lie to you. Stan Flaherty, obviously, we did sign him a year ago now, wasn't it? That we signed just over a year, sorry. We signed Stan Flaherty. He came from Arsenal. He's been brilliant this season as well for the under-23. He's grabbing loads of assists and goals and creating chances and being very, very deadly in the final third for us. But we'll wait and see on that. We'll scroll up a little bit further forward. So, and then we had the under 18s game. Got no idea where Eddie Hearn's on that one. Before the under 18s FA youth game, we actually, because our league form for the under 18s has been shocking. We actually beat Man United 3-2 a little bit, and Man United have a world-class academy. They've even pinched one of our lot, and he's actually played for Man United this season. I'm trying to think of his name again. It was something like Shoatai, something like that. The young lad came off the bench, and he was a part of the Toons Academy as well. And then the women's played the Wallsend Reserves in the County Cup, and they actually they won 5-0 in the County Cup, because the FA Cup and the County Cup were the two cups that were allowed to be played with the women's. So they actually thumped Wallsend Reserves, which you would expect to, 5-0, and they have progressed. And that was on the 18th of April. Obviously, we tweeted out the 17th, but sad news is that Newcastle youngster Joe White has been ruled out for the rest of the season. He won't play. He's missed the last couple of games with an injury, but we're towards the end of the season now. So he's a talented youngster. He's another one that switches between the under 18s and the under 23s. He's a real prospect. If you don't know much about the under 23s, keep an eye on this lad, Carlisle lad, central midfielder, can burst through, can also fill in at 10 as well. He's one to watch next season as well. And Owen Bailey's went on to say about that Wolves defeat earlier on for the under-23s when they got hammered 4-0. The Wolves game was a bit of a shock to the system. We're all keen to put that behind us and go out and react. It was out of the blue. Something that we want to put things right on Monday and bounce back with a positive performance and result. Of course, we got beat against Stoke after that, so that didn't go too well. Of course, Stoke's game was played on YouTube. And I've put a couple of, because I was watching that game, Dan Langley with a great save. That was on YouTube, and I was keeping everybody up to date what was happening there. But that was another defeat, as I touched upon, 2-1 earlier on. We scroll up a little bit further higher up. Newcastle Women Suffered a 3-1 away defeat to Durham Sestra this evening. You can see the team there. Durham Sestra are in a very, very strong outfit in the lower leagues. Of course, the main side, which is Durham, who play in the WSL second division, they've been doing well. Their parent club, they've been doing very well, just missing out on promotion the last couple of seasons. But yeah, we went down to 3-1 friendly away defeated down in Durham, so local game. But the girls are just trying to get the legs and minutes in because they're still playing for the county cup. And then they played a friendly just a few days later down in Nottingham Forest. Another great win, 3-0 away win. So they do all right, the ladies. They're doing all right. And of course, I've already touched upon Fabian Schar playing as well. And I've already touched upon the league table. And then the big one, of course, was the under-18s a few days ago. You can see Elliot Anderson, I've talked about him already, playing against Aston Villa. I thought, right, you've seen all the good luck messages from players and ex-players, and it kind of just fell apart, didn't it? At St James's Park, they were ripped apart. I was watching the game, 6-1 thumping by Aston Villa at home. Didn't start well. I think we're 2-0 down after 7 minutes, and we scored towards the break. But it was a humiliating defeat. It was a thumping. And yeah, our under-18s have not been great. We've been a bit of they have had a great FA Youth Cup run, but we've took a bit of a back run the last few years in the league, finishing second bottom and what have you. And the whole system needs a redevelopment, put money into the club. The facilities need upgraded as well. We all know that. We talk about that all the time in the jokes with a few years ago with, Jack Cole back in a wheelie bin and Musa Sissoko in the paddling pool. It's a joke. And Rafa Benitez wanted that. And as I say, I've already touched upon here the last 2 games against Villa tomorrow/today, depending when you watch on this, and then Villa again. The Lionesses have got their qualifying for the World Cup. They should practically... You would imagine they'll pretty win this group, of Austria coming second, and you would think Northern Ireland will come third in that group. But that's the Lionesses who they've got in World Cup qualifying, so expect England to heavily dominate that. And then Ryan Barrett has went on to say about after the Palace win, he's gone on to say, I thought we definitely deserved to win against Palace. We've had times where we've played better, but we've shown what we can defend well, coming away with a clean sheet, which is rare, by the way, for the under-23s, and still putting out chances away. We'll look at take that into the game against Aston Villa. And, of course, the last piece of news is there, which we are currently live with everybody at the moment. Right, so that is your wrap-up of all of the under-23s / women's / under-18s. If you can smash that like button if you're watching the rerun of this, that would be wonderful. If you can do, if you've got to the very end and you're still watching, you are a dedicated Toon fan. Well done for staying this long. So if you want to know about the under-18s and the 23s and women's, hardcore, absolute hardcore. So that is it. Thank you very much, Thomas, for your comments there. We do it all again on the main channel. With Arsenal, and it looks like Newcastle are nearly safe mathematically, almost safe mathematically. I'm hanging on mathematically, but that is it. Good night, everyone. Watch What Is a Day, and ta-ra.